What's going on, you guys? My name is Matt, and I like to talk about Error Pokemon cards. We have a lot of interesting cards this week. The top 4 cards have over 10,000% EVI, and if you have no idea what that means, stick with me, kid. You'll figure out real soon. Also, I updated my background.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no.
So, you're welcome. Now let's get started. Now, kicking things off, we have a Snorlax from Jungle Set, and this is an additional ink error, a repeating error that covers the left portion of the art box next to Snorlax there. This was sold by Millennium Rose for $522.50. I'm not sure if the 22 has anything to do with this channel, but incredible sale. Millennium Rose has sold one of these before, and I thought it might have been that one, but I checked back and that was actually a CGC9. So, different card, and this card sold for $522. Holy cow, look at that right there. Left side of the art box completely affected by this. Very neat. One of the more unique repeating errors, I would say. Definitely one of the larger ones too. And about $470 of value added to this card. Alright, next up we have one I have never seen before, I believe. We have a Cressilia, and I think, is this a red tape error? I don't believe it says color change, doesn't penetrate through the card, so that, suggests it is happened in the factory, but yeah, does this look like a red tape error or an additional ink error? Something happened where it made the bottom all red, and then this part is darker than the rest of the card. Whatever it is, helped it sell for $150. You can see the back is in perfect condition and nothing is impacted here. I believe the red tape is used to splice 2 rolls together for printing. That's supposed to signify to the workers, hey, don't print this part, they take those out, but sometimes they can get left in, especially if it's just on a portion of the card. So that's my theory, but someone smarter than me, tell me what's going on. Nicely, thank you. Average non-error price for this bad boy? $1.17. So that gives us a 12,720% error value increase. And that's good enough for number 3 this week. Dang. Next up we have a birthday Pikachu from Pokemon Celebrations, and this is a wonky miscut, sold for $50. Alignment dot in the top left corner. Now why do I say it's wonky? You can see that it's twisted a little bit. So we have thinner on the top left, thicker in the bottom left here. We can see, really don't see too much of the other card here. We can see that the 24 is actually cut in half here, and the back is consistent. So we have the alignment dot, and then it's thinner and thicker, and yeah, kind of same orientation here too. What an awesome miscut. I didn't know this card is non-error version, sold for $13, but yeah, this one added around $35 of value to the card. Here's a classic I haven't talked about for a while. So we have a Shadowless Vulpix with the blue butt error. Got graded a PSA 9. We have an additional blue ink error right here on the hindquarters of Vulpix. And it's a high grade and sold for quite a bit, considering what it usually sells for. $280 for this PSA 9. Now, average non-error price for a grade 9 is $30. So, an 800% EVI, not in the top 10 obviously, but $250 of value added to this card, which is very solid. Alright, next up we have a first edition Moltres from Fossil Set, PSA 9, and this is a mirror hollow. Look at the difference here. What's the difference here? We see little stars here, and there's no stars here, or maybe there's 1 or 2, but a lot less. So, yes, a cool error that impacts all Wizards of the Coast cards, or it can impact them. And if you have a PSA 9 example, it sells for a lot. $1,500 for this bad boy. That's a neat one. Not sure if I've seen a first edition Moltres from Fossil Set with a mirror hollow, but now I have. And this added $1,225 of value to this card. Oh, wow. Next up, we have a blank yellow border card. Basically, this is a filler card on Pokemon sheets. When they are supposed to print a certain amount of Pokemon, sometimes there's 1 or 2 extra that just aren't able to get printed on there. And so they have these filler spots, and they usually do not end up in packs, but sometimes they do, and then people pull them. And when I first saw this, I thought it was a miscut. I was like, oh wow, this is awesome. But then kind of looking at the shape of it, I was like, that kind of looks like Expedition. And certainly enough, it is an e-reader card. So the border is supposed to be like this. It's really cool to be able to tell the era of the card just by the border. So this card sold for $130 and had nothing to compare it to, so I just put the photo there again. Average on-air price? We don't know. So we're just going to appreciate this sale and that this piece of paper and cardboard sold for $130. Infernos Games. Not really sure why I did that, but when I saw this sale, I just thought of saying the seller's name like that. So we have an inverted back Meowth from base set 2. CGC9. Look at that. This is one of the more common inverted back orientations you'll see, but still absolutely iconic. And we have an alignment dot in the upper left corner here. Now we can see there is a little, there is the black dot and a little bit of white around it. So yes, how neat is that? CGC9 inverted back. We got vintage, we got inverted, we got CGC9. Now average non-air price for a grade 8 base set 2 Meowth is $7.74. So we have around a 2000% EVI, but that's not even close to the top 10. Really cool card though, and adds a lot of value to this. Next up we have an Electrode, and this is a miscut. We have an alignment dot in the top right, another card here on the right as well. Nice thick shiny border. Looking down on the left, we have no border whatsoever. On the back, consistent. Maybe a little bit less of a border. Just a hair, a sliver of a border. Alignment dot top left. And yes, this card sold for $45. Now average non-air price, $1.27. So this has an EVI of 3,388%, which is good enough for number 10 this week. Alright, next up we have a first edition Ivy Pikachu. That got created CGA99. Sold for 1,000 Australian dollars, which is $641.37. Are you confused yet? Okay, so I don't know what the heck CGA is. I looked it up, and 99 is basically like a 9.5. You know, if it's 100, then it's a PSA 10, you know, or an example of that. But since CGA really isn't known too well, this didn't sell for a lot. We can see average error price for a grade 9.5 is $12,033. Even a grade 9 goes for $1,100, but this went for $640. If I haven't said it yet, the error is this first edition stamp should not be there. And yeah, a really neat error, one that sells for a lot. Oh, so this is Australia grading. Okay, I'm not knocking on Australia at all, but just not as well known. But yeah, so whoever bought this could crack it open and resubmit it to a different grading company. Even if you get a grade 8, a PSA 8, you would make your money back. So I'd say that'd be worth it. I don't know. It's up to the person. Maybe another Australian bought it and they can keep it. But yeah, neat card. Didn't sell for nearly as much as it should have, but I think that's due to the grading company. And it still added $580 of value to this card. Play the music. Next up we have a Dratini from Neo Destiny, and this is a fat bottom miscut. Alignment dot in the bottom left, nice fat thick border. The back we have consistent but no alignment dot, that's alright. Some wear and tear on the edges, and it still sold for $80. That's kind of amazing. I don't know too much about Neo Destiny, at least like error wise, like was that like extremely high quality, and so to see a miscut like this is crazy because I don't think this is worth that much personally, but it don't matter what I think. It sold for $80, that's a fact. Had an EVI of 2100% and added $77 of value to the card. Next up we have a reverse hollow Growlithe from Aquapollus, and this is almost covering it. It's a square corner that's bent, unfortunately. Neat. Really don't see too many errors from this era, actually. Errors from this era. Yeah, that's a neat one. Obviously, we love Growlithe, we love reverse hollows, this set is awesome, and to see a square corner is pretty darn neat. I wonder what happened to bend that? Is it just a kid back in the day, you know, being a kid? Who knows? That's a neat one though. Again, just thankfully it didn't get ripped off or something. We can take a bend and it will still sell for a lot. $125 versus $22 for the average non-error price. So still a really neat card. It's just unfortunate of that little ding there. But again, we're just happy it's a square corner because that is pretty rare. Infernos Games again, back with another inverted back. We have a base set 2 energy card, fighting energy card. And it looks like, now were these from the same sheet? Yeah, pretty darn neat. We got thick borders. We have that same exact, what makes me think obviously they're from the same sheet. It's the same orientation. We have the same weird white circle around the black dot. That's not always there. Sometimes it's just like sheets can get misaligned a little bit, and that's why it'll show some of the whitening there. And they're both from base set 2. Did I say that already? And it's from the same seller. So hard to say if these are from the exact same sheet, if there's any way to prove that, but my money says yes. Awesome card. When do you see a fighting energy sell for $100 on this show? Average non-error price $1.27, so that gives us a 7,770% error value increase, which is good enough for number 6 this week. All right, fear of missing out, FOMO. This is one of my definitions of it for me personally. I saw this. I saw it for $40, you know, even in the condition of the card. Okay, that maybe not, but I saw this and I really debated it, but you can see shipping to me would be around $32. It's like, I can't justify that. But why did I want this so bad? This is a base set Charmeleon with the hip tattoo printer hickey. Yes, a repeating error of that red and yellow printer hickey right there. Awesomely placed on Charmeleon. Yeah, one that's on my bucket list, and I was like, oh, maybe I can get this one. And I was like, you know what, I could swing that for price-wise, but then just out of, I don't want to spend that much on shipping. So neat repeating error, sold for quite a bit, again, considering the condition, and gave us a 1900% EVI. Here's another one I actually saw again, but chose not to, again, because of shipping, but also just not the best quality. We have a base set Abra with the Fighter Jet Plane error, or the Jet Plane error. Right here is a repeating ink error that looks like a jet plane, and it helps this sell for a lot, usually over 100 if it's not in awful condition. And to be honest, yeah, this is in bad condition, but still helped it sell for $46. That's not bad at all. So still added quite a bit of premium to this bad boy, and helped it sell for around $45 more than the average non-error price. And another one. So we have a Magikarp from Scarlet and Violet 151, and this is the ICARP Error. Repeating printer hickey on the upper left here, covering MAG in Magikarp, leaving just ICARP, hence the name. As you would expect, well, it's actually only one photo, but card looks like it's in good shape, as it should be from a later set here. And they got it for $40. Now, I was like, I'd spend $40 on this. So I went and I put in an offer of $40 to someone else who's selling one, and we'll see if they accept it. It's pending right now. But awesome repeating error. One, I think will just continue to go up in value as time goes on. I think it is going to be one of those staples that people remember in the error community of, oh yeah, that's the ICARP error. And I love repeating errors. I love the history behind them, so would like one. Average non-error price is $1.47, so 2600% EVI. As you know, not top 10, but a really cool card and one I will always talk about for the recap. Now, this is one I have not seen before. Here we have a Pikachu Reverse Holo from 151, I believe Scarlet and Violet, and this is an obstruction error to the texturing or the background. Right here, look at that. Looks like something obstructed the printing, basically got in the way and left just blank right here. How cool is that? Is it a piece of tape? Is this like a, you know, were they splicing two texture sheets together and then that ended up here and then it just didn't transfer over? I don't know the particular printing process for what happens with like the reverse holos here, but that's my guess. And even if it's less cool than that, it's still a really, really awesome error. Yeah, that's again a subtle one. You know, if you're just pulling, it's like, this is a card that's worth $1.81 usually. I'm just set it aside. But if you take a look and you really look at cards, you might be able to get 150 bucks out of those bad boys. That's what this one sold for. Oh, that's cool. I hope we see more examples of this show up because again, that is just really neat. Again, it's subtle, but it's like really perfectly right down the center of the card, right down the barrel. An average non-error price, $1.81. So we have 8,187% for the error value increase, which is good enough for number 5 this week. Next up, we have a CGC9 Poliwag from my first battle, and this is a twisted miscut. Not much pricing information on these bad boys. I don't know where you even get these, to be honest, but I've seen a couple of these wonky ones sell before, and how cool. Like, a limited print run card already, but to see it twisted miscut like this, it's pretty neat. We can see we got normal corner, normal, and then it bends right here, so this is a little bit sharper corner with an alignment dot in the bottom right, and then rounded again, and obviously the border is sloped and like just kind of twisted in the frame here. Listed for 400, sold for 100. Next up, we have a Cloister from Fossil Set, and this is an additional yellow ink error. That's a big one. All right here, I'm gonna guess 15% of the card, maybe 20. I'd say 15. Yeah, that is a neat one. As we know, if it is an actual error, it would not impact or bleed through the card here, and that is the case. And look at that. I think it's known that Fossil Set has this additional yellow ink error. I don't know if it was just a couple of the uncut sheets that got spilled on or something happened, but really, really neat. It sold for a lot. $75 for a card that usually goes for $1.75. And that gives us a 4,186% EVI, which is good enough for number 9 this week. Play that music. Next up, we have a Potion trainer card from Legendary Collections, and this is a fat bottom misalignment. Is it a miscut? No. So we'll say it's off center, but still a neat one that sold for quite a bit. Listed for 50, sold for 40, and added $38 of value to this card. Next up, we have a Sluggma from Vivid Voltage, and this is an inverted back error. Right here, here's regular Sluggma. Second photo is the back of it. We have a flipped over Pokeball. It's shifted over, so we have a thick border, and we have alignment dot in the bottom left corner here. Look at that. And no border on the right here. Pretty neat. It's always fun too. These are cool to see graded. It's like, oh, here's a normal card. You see the Sluggma on the front, and then boom, inverted back. It sold for 60 bucks. You won't see this sell for 60, even a PSA 10 example. That will just get you 33 bucks. Only the black label goes for more than this. So this sold for 60. Average non-error price is 79 cents. Usually I say 99 cents is the floor, but I've seen cards shipped for less. I want to include shipping, so I think you can get away with it. You just use a regular stamp and don't track it, then you can make like 10-cent profit or something. It's believable, and that's what price charting says. Gives us a 7,500% EVI, which is good enough for number 7 this week. Next up, we have a base set Charizard with the incomplete hollow error, aka mirror hollow. Oh baby, look at that. That's a neat one. That really is. It can impact any set from Wizards of the Coast. So if there's a hollow, it may be a mirror hollow. Let's see the video. Yeah, oh man, look at that. You really need to see a video sometimes to actually confirm it is. So great job to the seller. Looks like they got a whole set up there. Look at that. Oh, just let you enjoy the details more without getting distracted by the hollow. That's awesome. So this card was smartly listed for $5,000, but they had best accepted offer price turned on. Someone offered $1,000 and they took it. I messed up EVI here. It should be $282 for average non-error price, but doesn't matter because this wouldn't have been in the top 10 anyway. Even with this messed up price, it's still not in the top 10. And yeah, this added around $700 of value to this card. And how's the back look? Oh, she's clean. She's pretty darn clean. Yeah, not too bad, honestly. Maybe not the best. Either way, awesome card. Okay, here's the biggest FOMO of them all. Here we have a base set Bedrill with the bloody wing error. This is, yes, a printer hickey. Yes, the card may be damaged, but this is a very, very rare repeating error where, as it's named, There's red ink on the wing of Bedrill here. You can actually see a little bit of the blob there too. It goes for around the same price, if not more, as the D-Dot offending error, like several hundreds of dollars, even in bad condition. And I'm sure the person listening to this was like, oh, it's not that, you know, the card's in awful shape, it's not going to sell for that much. I'd say probably over 100 still, pretty easily. But someone snagged it up for $15 plus free shipping. Holy cow. Okay, I was wondering, I messed up the EVI for this too. I saw it was 1900%. I was like, there's no way that math checks out. Sorry I messed that up too, but EVI would be like 300%, and this added $10 of value to the card. So someone got an absolute steal on this. Congrats to whoever that was, and I'm jealous. Okay, here's a frustrating one. Here we have a Japanese Jumpluff, and this was a miscut. I cannot find it anywhere. This was shifted down.
Hey guys, editor Matt here from the future. We found the photo. Turns out it was actually a fake card. That's why it got taken down. But let's still listen to Matt ramble on about why this was such a cool card. Turns out the giveaway for why it was fake was not all the black text was actually shifted. If you look at the description for the attacks, that black text is not shifted. Sorry, back to Matt.
I don't know if it was a registration, but the numbers here were halfway on the border. And again, I cannot find it anywhere. I didn't take a screenshot. Sometimes eBay just does this. So you're gonna have to take my word for it. This was an awesome card. Sold for $800, and average non-error price is $634. So just imagine this whole thing shifted down. I'm hoping editor Matt within the next day can find a photo or find something about this. I have the link to it, but it won't take me anywhere. So oh, it's frustrating, but it was one of the more unique cards I've ever seen. No joke. Shifted down here. Again, this information was on the border here. Incredible. EVI of 12,518%, which is good enough for number 4 this week. And I really hope I find that because I want to show you guys. Next up, we have a Larvatar. And this is a severe miscut. I believe the title says this is a Whismer in the top here. Yes, Wimser. And yeah, look at that. So again, with these miscuts, they're fun because whatever's missing on the bottom is shown on the top. So we have right through the numbers here, and the information is cut off. And right here, information and numbers is filling it in there. Alignment dot in the top right corner, and it is a consistent miscut here too. It didn't say anything in the listing, and I think it's reasonable to assume this could be a legit error, but please let me know if you think it's otherwise. But yeah, incredible one. Sold for $150. An average non-error price is $1.12, so that gives us a 13,293% error value increase, which is good enough for number 2 this week. Next up, we have a wonky Imposter Professor Oak from Pokemon Celebrations. Sold for $47 in auction. Consistent, look at that. Back, front. Now it's not wonky enough where it's impacting the shape of the card, I don't believe, unless, does it look wider here? Or is that just a trick of the mind? Or is it like, it looks like it's angled a little bit. I don't think this is wider than a regular Pokemon card. I think it's within the parameters, but let me know. Yeah, I think it's just normal. Neat one though, really neat. Sold for $47 and added $45 of value to the card. Alright, we're popping over to Fanatics Collect here, and we have 2 cards to talk about. Here we have a PSA 10 Nintendo error. So it's an ancient Mew, but the third N in Nintendo is actually missing. And if I recall, it's very slow to zoom in here. Oh, there we go. Okay. If I could do a hand zoom. No. You can see right there, the third N in Nintendo is missing. If you can't, just take my word for it. I like tracking these because the price kind of ranges between, we've seen as low as like $800 for a PSA 10 and as high as like $1,800. And this one blew it out of the water. Like, it's consistent. Usually, I think around 1,200% is the average error price for this, and we'll talk about that in a second. This sold for $2,640. I think that's what Fanatics Collect is so good at, is kind of really hyping things up and getting people to overpay for cards that go for a lot cheaper. But yeah, 28 bids, $2,600. Officially, I believe the highest PSA 10 sold, at least in the last 61 weeks. Really incredible. Average non-error price is around $700, so $1,900 of value added to this card. And for the longest time, the price was stuck at $1,199 and 99 cents for a PSA 10 because Price Charting was not updating it. But then I talked to someone from Price Charting, they got it updated, and we have freaking updated pricing here. So this is actually reflecting what's happening in the market, except for I don't think they track Fanatics Collect, but one step at a time. Oh my god, that's right. Another Ancient Mew sold on Fanatics Collect in auction, sold for $4,080 for a CGC 8.5. Now why is that? This is why. Big reveal. There we go. Oh golly. Look at that. Look at that miscut. So this is so miscut, it's showing the bottom information of the card, really showing all the holo there, showing the black boxes there. Yeah, absolutely incredible. Ancient Mew is already such an iconic card, and to see it this miscut is freaking insane. Back consistent, so we have white, several alignment pluses here. This awesome back here. Slightly wonky, obviously shifted up like over an inch. And I bet this bad boy is good for a couple hundred views at least, right? That's what I'm hoping. Yeah, $4,080 for this one. Really incredible. Average non-error price for a grade 8.5 is around $85, so an EVI of 4,700%. Good enough for number 8 this week. If you're doing the math, there's only one card left. And funny enough, I almost forgot to add this listing to this week's recap, but then right before I was about to add all the graphics, I was like, crap, and I threw it in there because we have the card I talked about last week, the cards I talked about last week. Prismatic Evolutions, we have Execute and Sylveon Pokeball cards with the NFL imprints on them. We have Tua and what's his face here? Forget the other guy's name, but yeah, basically it's inverted here and an absolutely incredible error where these cards were printed in the same factory and the names ended up on here. They put it on eBay. I believe you can see before how many people were actually watching the sale, like 600 or 700 people were watching the sale, and in auction this sold for $935 without ever using the word error. Now I think because of all of the press it got, it really did get a lot of eyes on it, so I don't think that really mattered too much, but what an incredible sale. Would love to see these bad boys get graded, maybe sold again. It's just fun. I want them to be sold just so I can kind of keep talking about them because they are that cool, and we hope other ones pop up too. Oop. There we go. So yes, here is the non-error cards, and I think they only showed one photo of the Sylveon. They only showed one photo of the Sylveon here. Yeah, Blake something. Now average non-error price is $1.80 plus $4.62, which gives us $6.42, and that gives us an EVI of 14,464%, which is obviously good enough for number 1 this week. All right, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you. Let's take a look at the background one more time because I worked very hard on it. We got my knickknacks and everything. I refinished that cabinet. It was from a hospital, and I put a top on it, stained it, routed it off and everything. Very happy with it. So thank you so much for watching. I love you. Goodbye.